I'm Gina Grimes, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite author illustrators, Brian Selznick. He wrote and illustrated both of these books, and then he also illustrated this book and part of the Harry Potter cover book of the redone version in the later 2000s. So he actually was born and grew up in New Jersey. He's 54 years old, and he went to the Rhode Island School of Design, and he published his first major book in 1991, and then won a Caldecott, which we talked about, in 2008 for The Invention of Hugo Cabret. And this book is actually the reason that I chose him, because this is one of my favorite books growing up. So let's take a closer look at it. One of the things I love about Brian's work is how he tells the story. His main technique is using pencil drawings. He uses it in black and white because I think he wants to leave the pictures up to your interpretation. So let's look at one of these. This is the first series of pictures that I'm going to show you guys because he shows different perspectives. And as you can see, like I said, this is shaded because he wants to show that the picture's darker. But if you zoom in a little bit closer on this picture, you can see that there's something behind that 5 on the clock right there. And then he zooms in a little bit closer so you can see what it is. And it's actually Hugo, the main character of the story, who's an orphaned boy who lives in a train station. He is looking through this clock right here. So it's very, very, very cool. And again, these pencil drawings are incredible because you can see the whole picture and he's not even using color. So let's look at his other book, Wonderstruck. It's kind of set up in the same format. We're going to look at these first beginning pictures. So he has that outside kind of point of view and then zooms in a little bit closer. Again, those pencil drawings are really just shown clearly in this. Zooms in a little bit closer and then a little closer and then all the way into the pupil. So if you just looked at this, you might not know what it is, but along with the series of pictures and then going into those words as well, the words explain the pictures a little bit more for you. One of Brian's biggest inspirations was the illustrator of Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak, and he was his inspiration, and Brian is actually my inspiration for drawing and talking to you guys about my Cedarville experience. So let's journey back. So the first picture I decided to show you guys was the sign outside of Cedarville, one of the university signs. I wanted to show this just because this was one of the first signs I took a picture of next to. My mom took a picture at one of my first visits here, and it really just stuck in my mind and was one of the reasons that I kept remembering Cedarville as a college choice that I wanted to choose. So I used some of the same techniques actually that he used, some of this shading right here. So you can see that these are actually bricks over here, just due to the shading that I had and that I did in these photos. So I wanted to show you guys that just because it's really memorable in my mind, and whenever I think of Cedarville, I tend to think of this sign specifically. The next one I want to show you guys is the DMC, the Dixon Ministry Center. I did try to do a little bit of shading. You can just see the stairs leading up to it and the windows as well as the shadows along this. I chose this one specifically to show you guys because the DMC was also one of the things that I remembered during my visit. Going to chapel was just an unreal experience that I hadn't had before. And I loved going into chapel every time I visited. I visited about 4 times, and every single time I just loved it more. And the DMC was really one of the things that really sold me on Cedarville. The next thing that I want to show you guys is the Willits Hall sign. I did this a little bit out of context because I really wanted to show you guys the shading in this one as well, in just this sun showing light onto this sign specifically, which is one of the things that he does in his books. I wanted to show you guys Willits because Willits has been an incredible experience living there. It's given me some amazing friends that I've made, and hopefully that will last a long time. And I really just wanted you guys to see Cedarville in its whole and just through my perspective. So yep, here's some closer up pictures of this shading process. This did not take very long, and again, you'll see that I don't have colors, so I kind of leave that up to your imagination. So this shading could be many different colors. It could be red or yellow or orange or any kind of combination of those.
and I really just, I loved doing this, and it was a fun stress relief for me. So I really just wanted to show you guys that.
Thank you guys so much for listening to me talk about one of my favorite author illustrators. I hope it's encouraged you to maybe stop reading and draw life with pictures instead.